If you are a Dubai real estate agent, you know that Dubai is one of the toughest markets for real estate agents. There are so many of them, maybe thousands, maybe even more, and the saturation is so large. And if you are an agent, you're probably frustrated from people not answering your phone calls, from people blocking you, from people shouting at you, telling you to stop calling them, from you trying to follow up, to do cold calls, emails, all those troubles and hassle, and it's probably frustrating you. And a lot of people are leaving Dubai and leaving being a real estate agent because of those things. And the truth is that there is a solution. There is something you can do, something you can start working on to make sure that it doesn't happen to you anymore, that you are not only getting answered, but you are getting the best deals and you are working with the best people. And the answer to that is personal brand. So today in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to build your personal brand, how to create your content strategy, how to make sure that you are different, that you are better than other agents, that you have your own niche, that you have your own ideas, and people understand that you are the master, you are the best expert on that specific niche. So we're gonna talk about this step by step. We're gonna take you to every step of the way, no gatekeeping whatsoever, on the lesson that has this scale over 100 agents here in Dubai for revenue of over 1 million dirham in a year. So I know you're ready for it, and I know you waited for so long for this. So we're gonna go to the board, we're gonna understand the logic, and then we're gonna talk strategy. Let's go. So let's talk about that. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is niche. I want to understand your niche. And the thing is that a lot of agents don't understand it. They think they can sell any property to anyone, and it's not true. If you know it, or if you don't know it and you don't recognize it, you have a niche. You have a certain neighborhood that you are the best, your best community that you are the master of, and you know every building, you know every transaction. Or you have a certain type of clients you're working with. You're working with clients from India, working from clients with Germany, you're working with young clients, with older clients. So all those small things, you know, about understanding the data, understanding the transaction, when's been the last purchase of studio on this project, for how much it went, what are the trends money-wise. Also not, as I told you, not just about the area or your niche, but also about the market itself. Since you are helping people get their first home or to buy their 10th property, you have a niche. And if you don't have a niche, we're going to understand it together. We're going to understand how to get your niche together. So we're going to build your niche. And then we're going to understand the audience, because audience is a very, very big step of the way, because your niche doesn't, no one cares about your niche if you don't have an audience to connect to it. So after we're going to understand your niche, we're going to understand what kind of audience is connected to it. And then we're going to speak and create the content directly to this audience, because we want to make sure that every person that is part of your audience, part of your certain group of people, we want to make sure that they understand that you are the best and the most competent real estate advisor there is. So we're going to speak directly to him. We're going to create the content directly to him. So this is the second thing. The second big thing is authority, because we want to make sure that everyone from this audience understands that you are the authority, that you are the number one expert in this field. So we're going to understand how to take the niche, how to understand our audience out of it, and from that point on to understand what kind of things we need to do to make sure that this audience understands that you are the number one authority in your field. So this is step number 3. Step number 4 is local, okay? We talked about it in the niche area. We want to make sure that people understand that you are a local of this niche, of this community, that you understand, that you know your niche in the best and the most expert way possible. So we are gonna just dive into this niche, and you're gonna make sure that people understand from your authority that you are local in this niche. If it's a community, that you are local in this community. If you can live in this community, if you can spend your entire day in this community to learn about it, to know every transaction, every house, every property that's available there, what kind of people are coming to this neighborhood, to know the people in the neighborhood. So we're gonna talk about those things. The next thing, which some people are underestimating in, is lifestyle. So it's not all about your experience in this neighborhood. So people want you to be the authority. They want you to be the audience, but they also want to connect with you on the personal level. And this is the thing that a lot of people are missing. So we're also gonna talk about your lifestyle. How do you present your lifestyle in a way that actually makes this audience understand that you are the person for him? Because it's not only about your knowledge, it's also about the way you live, the kind of personality you portray outside. So we're gonna just talk about the lifestyle and how to portray this lifestyle in a way that actually helps your brand and not spoils it. A lot of people are telling me about, hey, I have a personal Instagram account. I can't do it. I can't work or with this Instagram account. And I'm telling you, it's wrong. You need to work on your personal account, and we'll talk about it later, but we're going to talk about the lifestyle. The next thing is distribution, okay? And this is also a thing that's connect to the audience, like a lot of other things we're doing here. So why the distribution is so important? Because we want to make sure that you are in the right social platform, okay? If you are talking to a younger audience, you should be on TikTok, for example. If you're working on a more older audience, okay, you should be on Instagram and maybe on Facebook, okay? So that's all different markets, and we need to make sure that your distribution channels are connected to what kind of audience you have. I'm going to talk about that. And the last thing we're going to talk about is workflow, okay? How you take this entire thing and automate it in a way that will actually help you create content every day for longer periods of time, for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, because after you're going to create content for 1 or 2 or 3 years, you're going to see for yourself. You're going to understand that you are your pages, your social media channel is gonna be so unique and so interesting that people are gonna come to you. And it's not gonna happen if you won't have a workflow going. So we're gonna understand how to automate all those things. So after we understood that, we can dive in. Let's go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about, as I said, is niche, because as I told you before, if you're speaking to everyone, you're not speaking to anyone. And people want to feel in the content you are creating that you are speaking directly to them. People will look for the people that are similar to them, that they feel connection with. And all those things, how can we put it in a professional way and not in a personal way, which we also going to discuss? It's going to be with niche. We're going to niche down and make sure that you are an expert of a certain, as I told you, it can be two things. It can be a certain community or area or type of apartment. Okay, so it can be a professional niche or it can be a personal niche. Okay, if you are very good with selling for Indian clients or for clients from the US or for clients from Europe. Okay, so you need to make sure that you have some sort of niche. And the best way to figure out what your niche is actually not thinking what you want to do, is actually look back. Okay, if you have some sort of experience in your field by now, you need to go back to your deals and see what kind of deals you've made, if they have any connection between them. It's something that happens a lot with my clients. They don't need to dig deep. They just need to go back. So I had one client, one real estate agent that saw that she's doing a lot of deals with more aristocrat clients, okay? Some clients from royal families from all over the world, okay? This was very interesting thing about it, not something something very unique. So what we did, we just made sure that the content that she creates reflects to people that are from royal families, okay, and gives their own challenges, and they have challenges. People from royal families has challenges, trust me, believe it or not. So we did the content around that, and we had another client that she was very, very good at business bay. Okay, so she knew any transaction on Business Bay. She knew everything that's going on over there. So we made her page focused on Business Bay, and that's what we did. So there are a few examples for things we've done. So you need to understand what kind of client you've worked in the past the most, what kind of a common thing you can find within your clients, or what kind of communities you are better at. Okay, and once you figure this out, once you understand that, you need to start dig deep. You need to understand that you need to clean the entire propositions or thing you're offering from the table. You need to concentrate on that, and you need to think only about that. So if I'm now the biggest expert on Business Bay, I need to really dig deep into the boards and understand what kind of transactions are going on there, what kind of trends are going on there, and what kind of clients are the best for that area. So I need to set my entire concentration on that. So understand your niche, write it down, and try to make it also as thorough as possible. So try to write not only the things you are doing, but everything that has to do with it. Okay, if it's the client you think that are relevant for it, if you think it's the kind of properties, the trends you think are very interesting for that community or for that group of people, and you see that suddenly you have many ideas for content. Our second stage is audience. We want to understand our audience in the best way, and that comes out of our niche. Okay, so after we have our niche, we need to understand what kind of audience attracts to it the most, what kind of audience likes and this a niche of ours is more relevant to it. Let me give you an example. Let's stay with the Business Bay example. Okay, so I have an agent that is an expert on Business Bay area. So we need to figure out what kind of clients want to purchase units on Business Bay. So I think it sums up, from my experience with Business Bay, it comes out to two types of clients, okay, which both of them can be different niches, by the way, but you can also do them both. But as long as you have a smaller niche, which is the Business Bay. So first type of clients are investors that wants to buy their, units for long-term or short-term renting. And the second type are clients that wants to purchase a house to live there because they feel that this is the downtown, the city center, and they want to be part of city center. They want to live next to everything and don't want to take the car anywhere. They just want to walk, just get everywhere pretty quick and fast, which is sometimes not the case in Business Bay, I know, but it's also a very important thing. So we have these two types of clients. Each of them is a different niche. So you can be an agent for Business Bay that focuses on clients that want to purchase their house there, or you can be a real estate agent on Business Bay that focuses on investors that want to invest for long term. You can do them both, but you can still niche down. Even from that, you can always niche down. This is what I'm trying to say. But once you figure out your audience, which is, as I told you, is either investors or, let's say, more high net worth kind of clients, because Business Bay became more and more expensive throughout the years, you need to understand your clients and what do they look for, what kind of challenges in your niche. So let's say if we're talking about Business Bay, we just mentioned the congestion, we just mentioned there's a lot of traffic over there, so you need to maybe create content on that. How do you beat traffic? What hours are the best to drive on Business Bay? Maybe you can talk about the best restaurants on Business Bay. You can talk about the best buildings on the Business Bay, what things you need to look for, because maybe some of the buildings are a little bit older on Business Bay rather than other communities. So those things are the things that once you have your niche and you have your audience, you need to understand what type of people are there and what challenges and what problems they have. But it's not all about understanding the challenges. You need to understand who they are. Who are those people? Who are your audience? What are their ages? What are their situation in life? Where do they work? Or what do they do for their living? And what kind of people are they? Once you understand all those things, you start to think like your audience. And this is the thing I want you to do. I want you to start thinking like your audience and try to connect with them on the human level. And only when you understand your audience, you can do it. Why they want to choose Business Bay? For example, is there any particular reason without themselves? If they, I don't know, people who came from smaller towns, maybe in their home countries, and came here to Dubai to live in somewhere, they want to just live in the city center, or the opposite, they live on city centers their entire life and they are used to it. So you can understand those things, and those points can also be amazing the talking points and connection points to you. And when you understand your audience, both on their the reasons why they purchase, why they are interested in specific areas, which is your niche, or why they want to actually build their life here in Dubai, why they moved here to Dubai in the first place. If we're talking about specific audiences, then we can create content for them, and we can understand what kind of things we as real estate agents can offer them. Now, after we understood our niche, what kind of thing we're selling, an audience, who are we selling to, we're going to go to our 3 pillars of content. And pillars of content for me means that from those 3 pillars, those will be your content ideas. You can create content based on all those 3 pillars. All those 3 pillars has to be in your content, and all of them has to be in certain levels. So the first 2, authority and local, I'll give you a hint, should be more prominent, more dominant in your content, and lifestyle should be, which is the third pillar, should be also something that is less dominant, but definitely still there. So let's talk about authority. People will purchase from you if they feel you know what you're doing, if you walk the walk and not just talk the talk. What do I mean? They will buy from you if you are experienced. You've done something in the past. Even if you haven't done anything, they need to feel like you are experienced. And sometimes you can cut corners in the way to do that. That's okay. A lot of people are doing it. Almost any content creator is cutting corner in some way, or projecting something in some way for him to be more successful from the beginning. So you can definitely do that. And we're talking about authority. I'm talking about understanding your niche and also understanding the market. What do I mean? When I'm talking about understanding your niche, I'm talking about, let's say, if we are coming back to Business Bay as a niche, okay? So we need to understand business bay in very, very good level within data, with numbers, okay? What are the average prices for studios, for one bedroom? What are the best buildings for long term or short term? I'll give you some example. I wanted to purchase a unit, a studio in one building, and then I've been told that out of the 3 buildings of the same project, in one of them you can't do a short-term rental, only long-term, which is something that changed the way I look. So I gave it, I just gave it up. I haven't bought it there. So all those small things, about understanding the data, understanding the transaction, when's been the last purchase of studio on this project, for how much it went, what are the trends money wise. Also, not, as I told you, not just about the area or your niche, but also about the market itself. What is the procedure for golden visa, which a lot of people are looking for when they purchase a property here? Obviously, what are the taxes here? Okay, how much it costs to purchase a unit? What is the procedure? Sometimes people want to, as we said, want to move in and be, and also to take themselves to Dubai, to this country. So what is the procedure to actually getting a residency here? All those things, opening a company, all those things are part of your authority. They are the things the ways you can improve and shorten the route for your clients. So those things should be a strong pillar in your content. You should create a lot of content around those things, around also your community, which is, as I told you, numbers of the community, all those interesting things. Money-wise, what is the best ROI? Where is the best place to have long apartment? What is the best place for short term? What is the procedure for short term for Airbnb? What is the procedure for golden visa, for opening a company here? All those things are part of your authority. People will get the knowledge from you. They will learn something new. They will understand that you know what you're talking about because you saved them a lot of weight, because they can just ask ChatGPT, what is the way to create, to get golden visa in Dubai, and it will give them all the answers. But if they see that you know what you're doing and you can help them avoid, all sorts of obstacles towards the way that sometimes ChatGPT doesn't know about, or you can give them all sorts of tips, For example, a lot of people don't know that you have a medical fit when you do a visa here in Dubai. So it's something that maybe to give them some tips on how to do it, where to do it. There are a few places, some are more private, some less private places you can do it in different prices. So all those things, those small things, small tips, small ideas, you really need to break it down. We'll talk about the breaking down on a little bit later, but you really need to break down batch of information, of knowledge, of experience you have from your work, and give every time a small bit to the people on those short, all those short videos. Or if you do a long form like me, you need to give them, a specific guide on how to have a golden visa in Dubai. Okay, this is a very good video for any content creator. So definitely share your knowledge, share your experience, share the things, share other deals you've made as well, share stories from these, share your bias if they would like to go on camera with you and talk about their experience with you, their success with you. When people have successes, they want to cherish the people that help them become successful for most cases. So people that you help them create, good revenue or good property, they would like to go on camera and say, hey, I worked with XYZ and he gave me very good service and he helped me on my way. So definitely do that as well. The next pillar in our content is local. Okay, we want to make sure that you are not just knowing what you're saying, you're also a living part of what you're selling. So it can either be, talking about Dubai in general, okay, talking about your life in Dubai. How do you wake up in the morning? What's the procedure like to buy a car, for example, or to go to work, or where the offices are, or where the best restaurants are. But if your niche is a certain community in Dubai, you need your content to be all around it, okay, in any way possible, okay. Where is the best hair salon? Where's the best kindergarten for your kids? How does it look like to walk in the neighborhood? Show us around, show us this building and that building. What's special about them? Go dig deep into this community and give the entire, experience of living there. Where do you meet your neighbors? What kind of neighbors do you have? Talk with people, all those things will help people understand that you are living this community, that you know by heart, and you go there every day, which you are probably, but people should know it. It's the thing about today's social is, if you're not showing what you're doing online, it's like you're not doing it, unfortunately. And there are so many successful people that are doing amazing things, but they don't show it. So people think they're doing nothing, sitting around with their time. And you really need to show it out loud. So definitely show the neighborhood, show your life in Dubai. I'm talking about the regular things, on the best karak tea that you like, or what is a karak tea for those who don't know, about your hair salon, your lifestyle, the traffic on the way to work. Show your life and make people see that you are local, that you can take them from being a stranger somewhere to being a local yourself, because you are local and you can help them. So create content around it. Have your content also based on authority and also making local. And just let me set the difference between being with authority content and local content. Okay, authority content means you're going to talk about the recent trends in, let's say, in JVC. Okay, let's take another community, for example. If now JVC is delivering, there are a few projects being delivered on JVC, and maybe the price will decline in JVC. This is an authority video because you are giving the information, you're also giving your opinion on it to help people understand the information. This is authority video. But local video is, this is the best Pilates gym in Dubai, for example. This is the best Pilates gym in JVC, or this is the restaurant, the most authentic restaurant in JVC. Okay, those are two different pieces of content. Each of them present something else. In the authority, you show your knowledge, your experience, the way you look on data, and the way you give advices to your clients. And on local, you show them the experience, you give them the real feeling of living in JVC, in Business Bay, in all those neighborhoods. So this is the difference between. And third, and very important part of your content pillars are lifestyle. Okay, so if we've shown our knowledge, if we've shown our community in a professional way, now we want to talk more about you. Okay, what is your lifestyle? Okay, how do you live your life? And here I'm talking about not just your the professional you, okay, which means that you as a professional living, talking and doing that, but after work, okay, what you are doing, what you like to do. Do you enjoy riding motorcycles? Do you enjoy playing golf, watching basketball, watching NBA, smoking a cigar? Okay, any hobby that you have. People want to see the real you. They want to get connected to you, because it's not enough if you have good content. It's not enough if people understand that you are an expert. People want to get connected to you in the personal level. And ask anyone who's a sales advisor or sales guide, and he will tell you that people will buy from you only if they feel connected to you, if they feel you are the right person for them, and you make them feel good, and you have good connection with them. And this is the way to do it on content. The way to do it is by allowing your people to connect with you on different levels, not just on the professional level, but also on the personal level. So if someone, let's say, likes to smoke cigars, and you show yourself smoking a cigar and you put it out there, so people get connected. They say, hey, let's smoke a cigar sometime. Okay, or sometimes it even comes in the other way. If I like to play paddle, for example, I'm a paddle player, so I have a lot of friends that I met while playing paddle. I just connected with other people on other clubs here playing paddle, and then I got connected with them. So all those hobbies, all those small things help you get connected to other people on different level. And when it comes to professional life, it just makes it much, much stronger, because if I have 10 professionals and I have one professional which is a friend of mine, which I've met to a different place, and we have good connection, we played well together, it just makes it, he will choose you. No doubt about it, once you need this kind of professional. Also, by the way, not about just hobbies. It can be about anything in your life, okay? The car you have, okay? Whether if you have a family, if you have a pet of some sort, okay? If you show your pet online, if you show your car, okay? All those things are choices in life. So if people will like the car that you have and they have one like that too, so they will get connected to you. If someone has a dog and you have a dog, it's a great way to connect. Okay, all those things are very, very important for you to connect with your future client. And just a small thing to say, this thing should not be more than 15-20% of your content. 80% of your content should be authority and local. But 20% definitely should be around lifestyle, and it's supposed to show your own personal life. And a lot of times clients are coming to me saying, hey, I can't do this content creation on my personal account because I have, pictures of the kids or pictures of me playing sports over there. And I'm telling them, no, you should do it on your personal Instagram account because of those things, because you've already shown your personality over there, which is amazing. Now you can pour on some professional content into the people that follow you now. And now you can actually start creating leads out of your Instagram account. And sometimes also some of my clients are a little bit misunderstanding local and lifestyle. So let me explain the difference between those content pillars as well. In local, I want you to concentrate on your niche. Okay, so if your niche, let's say, as we said, it's business based, so the content should be around the life. On lifestyle, it should be around you, which means that if you have a hobby that doesn't have to do with being a real estate advisor, just being if you like to play cricket or like to play basketball, those are things that has nothing to do with your professional life, but they are your life and your lifestyle, and you should definitely portray them. So now we have the three pillars. We have authority, we have local, and we have lifestyle. The next part we are discussing is distribution, okay? Because now we understood what content we want to create. Now we want to understand where do we publish it, where we show it to the world. So that question has two different objects you need to think of. Okay, first one is where your audience are. Okay, you need to understand who are your audience, who are those people, and where they are surfing online. Where you can find them. Okay, so the answer to it is pretty simple. If you're talking more towards professionals, okay, of some sort, okay, even if it's tech, government, all those areas, people slightly more on the higher net worth side, and also people that are talking more professional, and maybe if your style is more professional, okay, you should definitely go to LinkedIn, because most of the people are in LinkedIn. If you are less, talking professional, but you still want to reach older audiences, Facebook, this is the way to go. It still produces some very nice view numbers and I can tell you for myself, I generated most of the things I'm doing today with Facebook. Okay, I had a very large profile on Facebook, and I've created a lot of content for it, and I've gained a lot of success and a lot of money from Facebook. So it's definitely a very good platform to post. And if you're trying to reach a little bit more women, okay, or a slightly younger audience, okay, I'm talking about, let's say, 25 to 45, okay, definitely should go to Instagram, okay, because Instagram is the platform that most of those people are. And I can tell you that anyways, it's good for you to have an Instagram account, because a lot of people are over there all the time. So Instagram is a very good platform for that. And if you are reaching younger audiences, TikTok is the platform for you, because a lot of young people are there, and it's also very, very I would say it's the easiest platform to actually get viral these days because of their algorithm. If you understand it very well, it's very easy for you to duplicate your success and become very successful on a TikTok, even without a lot of content. So TikTok but on the other hand, the clients there, or the viewers there, are not often those who will buy apartments. It's maybe good for restaurants or for other kinds of businesses, but for real estate, I would say it's still not there, even though there are few successful real estate advisors over there. So those should be the first question you should ask yourself: where my audience are, and go for it. The second question, which is also very, very important, and for me it will affect everything we are doing, is what do you like? Okay, what do you like to watch, and where do you like to, what kind of content you like to shoot? Okay, so what do you like to watch? I'm watching a lot of YouTube. Okay, I found myself for the past, let's say, 2 years watching a lot of YouTube. So for me, understanding a platform is much more easier after you actually watched it and you saw it. So you know what are the stages to succeed, because YouTube has some sort of a mechanism to it, to the videos, to successful video of any kind. So you can definitely, when you see a lot of content, I think it's much easier for you to actually be good at it. So this should be one thing. And also, what do you like to do? Okay, what kind of content you like to shoot? Okay, if you like to shoot shorter content, you definitely should go for TikTok or Instagram or Facebook Reels or YouTube Shorts, for example. But if you like to do long form videos, if you are better than I feel like I feel much more at home when I'm doing long form content. So definitely YouTube is the platform for you. Now, if I'm doing long form, it doesn't mean that I'm not doing any short form, okay? Because a good editor can edit something from the long form into a short form and then create it. But it's a whole different ballgame if you are trying to cut something out of a long form to short form platforms, rather than creating short form content to begin with. So those are some things that you really need to consider. I would definitely consider a mix between long and short form, because short form are the areas where people are. So you can get all the views and traction from short form, but long form can give you much better clients. And of course, in the long form, I can also add podcasts as well, which is also a very nice platform that I try to still do as much as I can. I've done podcasts for many years of my life, so it's always been something that I like. So those are the things you should consider. You should consider if you are where your clients are and what kind of content do you like to watch, to consume, and also to create and to continue doing it again. And the last point we have is workflow, because after we understood what kind of content we want to create, where we want to publish it, we also need to understand how we're going to maintain it for longer periods, because this is the big motto for success, guys. You need to create a lot of content for longer periods of time in order for you to succeed. It doesn't have to be the most brilliant content in the world, okay? But it has to be for longer periods of time, and you also need to learn from what you're doing. If something is successful, you need to do more of it. If something is less successful, you need to do less of it and try new things, okay? So this is the process of being a content creator up until you find your own path and you just go with it. So you need to create a workflow that has, for me, two important things in it. First of all, that it's that you like to do it, okay? Something that you enjoy doing, that you don't hate doing, okay? And second, that it doesn't cost you a lot of time, energy, or money, okay? And let's break these two. If you are saying that it's something that I like to do, I need to understand, what are the things I like to do most about this content creation thing, and to hold myself to that. For example, I'm shooting the content by myself, okay? So I'm renting an office, okay, and I'm just setting this entire setup, and then I'm creating content. So on that way, I am, and for me, doing the content, opening the studio and just assembling everything is very, very difficult for me. I really hate, putting all the setup and of course disassembling it at the end of the day. It feels like a shame to me, but I like talking to the camera, so I'm just focusing on that. I tell myself, I can bear this entire set thing if I can afterwards just shoot the content. So I'm taking whatever I like on that. And the second thing is that your workflow shouldn't cost you a lot of time, energy, or being outside of your budget. And let me explain. You need to make sure that your entire workflow is something that you can bear with for longer periods of time, because as we said, we have to do it for longer periods of time. So, and from the other hand, you should still be able to work, okay? You should still be able to show apartments, to sell them, to be in touch with your clients, and not being all around content creation all day. So how do you do this both? You just need to understand what are the things that you like, you can do, and what you can do, and try to create some sort of time frames. For example, I'm after some time, but for now I decided on 4 long form videos a month, few short form being created from those long forms, and also a few short clips that are, I'm just shooting pretty spontaneously wherever I go. So I decided I'm taking a day off from everything. Before that, I prepare myself with scripts and everything, and I just take my entire set of equipment, which I already bought a few years ago, so I have it, and I take a studio and I put it there, and I record those 4 videos, and then I send it to an editor that edits and creates the video. So I have this sort of workflow myself. The entire the short forms I'm creating, I'm just shooting something that I want to talk about or doing, and then I should sending it to the editor so we can edit it and send it back. So I have this workflow. I'm willing to spend my money on video editing, for example, and not for video shooting, because I can do that and I can't do this, or I don't have enough time or energy to do it. So I found here some sort of silver lining for me. If you're saying that I have to do it and I can't do anything, go for a professional, go for someone that can shoot content for you. For example, my company that's what we are doing. We are shooting content for many real estate advisors and a lot of people here in Dubai and also internationally. And we are doing everything. You're coming to our office for 2 or 3 or 4 hours every month. We are shooting the content, and then we publish and do everything for you. So we can do that. You need to find the right equation for you to create content, and understanding that as much as you do, it costs less. As less as you do, it costs more. So find yourself some sort of silver lining. If you can do some things by yourself, you can create the scripts, or you can shoot the content and do the editing, give the editing to someone else, great. If you can, if you are low on budget, you want to do everything, you can do it by yourself. It will take you some more time, but you can do it yourself, definitely. Or if you want to just get off of it, you're willing to pay whatever it takes, go get a professional. But find yourself a way that you can sustain it for longer periods of time. If you are going to a professional, make sure that the monthly cost for it is not something that in 2 or 3 months you're going to say, hey, it's too much for me, I have to stop. Make sure that it's something that you can hold within for at least a year. Okay, even if you're not seeing major results, because the results will come along the way. You just need to bear with it. So this is about the workflow. So guys, real estate advisors, my friends, I think we have so many ideas for your content, and I try to push you in this video to start creating your own content. We talked about, first of all, the niche, how you're niching down and understanding who are your real clients, who are you talking to. And afterwards, we understood the audience. So in the niche, we're understanding more about what are we selling, what kind of things we are good at, and the audience, who are we selling to, and who are the people we are talking to. So we have these two. Then we moved on to the three pillars of content: the authority, the local, the lifestyle, all the kinds of ideas for videos you should share. Then we moved to distribution. Okay, we understood where, after we have the videos, where are we posting them? What are we doing with them? And finally, we finished with workflow, how we're making sure and maintaining this content creation is something we can hold for a lot of time until we get the results. Because once you get the results, you won't be able to go back, and you will start to enjoy so much out of the things you're doing. So this was the video this time. If you like the video, please subscribe to this channel, and also lift up the bell so you get the notification wherever I'm posting a new video. And also, if you have any questions or something you'd like to know, you haven't understand this video, please comment down below, and I would love to answer each and every one of you. Trust me, I will answer. This is my commitment to you. Just leave the comments down there, and I'll take care of that. And if you want to get some more content out of me, there is a link to all my social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, here on the description. And I think that YouTube really wanted you to see this video. Maybe it will help you to get another piece of idea back to your business. So guys, thank you so much for being with me, and see you next time. Bye bye.